I've hosted The Fog Signal for 6 years now, a true crime/paranormal podcast, just professional enough to seem legitimate, just gritty enough to keep that outsider charm. I do it all myself, scripting, recording, editing, uploading. It started in my bedroom with a cheap mic and a hand-me-down laptop. Now I've got listeners in 27 countries, a modest Patreon following, and even a few weirdos who send fan art of the show's logo rendered in wax or blood, or whatever passes for devotion these days. The stories I tell are real, or real enough. Haunted lighthouses, vanishing towns, possession cases from the 80s. But I never imagined the stories could follow me back. That changed last month after I aired the Bitter Creek episode. Episode 143, The Bitter Creek Vanishings. The premise was simple. 4 teenagers vanished on a stretch of remote logging road in Aroostook County, Maine, back in 1994. No bodies, no evidence, just tire tracks leading into the woods and never coming out. Parents insisted the teens were on their way to a camping trip. Police found a melted cassette deck in the wreckage of one of their tents. No sign of the kids. Theories ran wild: cult activity, alien abduction, even a military black site. I leaned into the local folklore, including rumors about the Bitter Creek pines, twisted, spindly trees said to grow only in cursed soil. Then I signed off like I always do. Remember, not everything that fades away stays gone. That night, I got my first voicemail submission. The system was new. I had just enabled a call-in line through my podcast hosting platform, an experiment to boost engagement. Listeners could leave messages, stories, or questions. I figured maybe 5 people would use it. The file was titled VM_Thorman_1.mp3. Ray Thurman. The name stopped me cold. Ray had been a listener, one of the first. He had joined the subreddit back in 2019, sent thoughtful messages about EVP theory, and even mailed me a letter once during his cancer treatment. I replied. We even did a Q&A on Zoom for Patreon backers during lockdown. I remembered his voice, soft-spoken, weathered, with a Midwestern drawl. But Ray Thurman died 2 years ago. I read his obituary on air. So how the hell did he just send me a message? I hit play. Hi Eli, this is Ray Thurman. Big fan of your show. Just wanted to say you're getting close. Real close. I remember Bitter Creek. I remember what the trees looked like. How they leaned in. Like they were listening too. That voice, it was him. Even had that little gravel tone when he said too. And he knew the episode I had just released. I checked the metadata, time-stamped 4 hours prior, submitted via my real voicemail portal, Origin, New Hampshire landline. I checked the phone number against the envelope from Ray's old letter. Same one. I dialed it, disconnected. That was the first night I left my desk light on while I slept. Over the next 3 days, the voicemails kept coming. VM_Thurman_2.mp3. There was a boy with a lantern. I saw him by the tree line. He didn't blink, just watched. Said the forest was hungry. Said it had to feed every 13th years. You believe that, Eli? 13? VM_Thurman_3.mp3. They're not dead. Not in the way you think. The woods took them, held them, like pressing flowers in a book. Some of them can still scream. VM_Thurman_4.mp3. Just breathing, wet, ragged, shallow, and a low rhythmic sound in the background, almost like a grandfather clock ticking, but offbeat. Tick, 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 tick. I thought it had to be some elaborate prank, AI voice synthesis maybe. Some obsessed fan using my own lore against me. So I pulled up every bit of research I had on Bitter Creek, dug through archived police reports, local forums, even microfiche scans from the Bangor Daily News. That's when I found something I had missed before. A witness report buried in a 1994 supplement, written off by authorities as unreliable. A John Doe discovered wandering near the creek trail 5 days after the teens vanished. He was dehydrated, delirious, covered in scratches and mud. No ID. He kept repeating 2 words. Ray, trees. Police labeled him a transient. Sent him to a psych facility in Augusta. No follow-up, no file, just a name in the margin. Thurman? My blood went cold. Had I been talking to that Ray all along? I found a photo of Ray from our Zoom call back in 2021. I paused the frame and stared. The eyes, the cheekbones. Then I compared it to a grainy scan of the 1994 witness photo from the police file. Same eyes, same jawline. But he didn't age. Not really. Not over 27 years. The messages escalated. VM_Rethurman_6.mp3. Your mother's basement still smells like cat piss and old books. You remember the hidey hole behind the furnace? I like that place. You shouldn't have covered it. He was describing my childhood home in Vermont. I never mentioned it publicly. Not once. VM_Rethurman_8.mp3. That scar on your back? The one you can't explain? It came from the night you sleepwalked at 7. You leaned into something that wasn't there, but it left a mark. I stopped sleeping after that. I tried deleting the voicemail portal. Didn't matter. The files just kept showing up on my desktop. Always perfectly named. Always sequential. No sender, no source, no upload trail. I unplugged my modem. They still appeared. I wiped the drive. They reappeared. At 2 a.m. on a Monday, I heard a thud from my studio closet. Just one, solid, not pipes, not wind. I opened the door. My microphone was on. I hadn't touched it in 3 days. The software had been recording. The waveform was strange, like a heartbeat. I hit play. I'm not alone anymore. Then silence. I stopped the podcast. Cold, didn't tell the fans, just went dark. That week, the final message appeared. VM_Rethurman_13.mp3. One more episode, Eli. You know what it is? The Bitter Creek Pines still want their name spoken. Still want their story told. Finish what you started, then I'll stop. I didn't start this. Someone else did. Maybe Ray. Maybe the thing in Ray. But I felt like I picked up the thread of something older. Much older. I went back to the Pines. I drove 6 hours north, parked where the road dissolved into dirt. My recorder stayed in my bag. The forest was still, but not silent. It was holding its breath. I followed the trail to the old fire pit. Moss-covered stones, blackened logs. I crouched and pressed my hand into the dirt. Soft, like something had been recently buried. That's when I heard the whisper, not in my ear, not in my head, from my phone, even though it was off. Not everything that fades away stays gone. My own voice, repeating my sign-off, slurred like a broken record. Then static. Then Ray's voice. Now, record. I don't remember driving home, just waking up at my desk. New file waiting. Episode_144.wave. It was fully edited. Had my voice, my cadence, ambient music, everything. I hit play. It was me. Welcome back to the fog signal. Tonight, I have a confession. And then I started describing the pines. Not the ones from Bitter Creek lore. These were different, living, breathing, Feeding. The episode went on for 23 minutes. It ended with a sound I've never made. A wet, tearing scream, and then Ray's voice. Next time, we tell your story. I didn't upload it, but someone did. It's online now. Auto-posted to every podcast app. Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. I've gotten messages from fans asking if I'm okay. One said the file crashed her phone. Another said the voice changed midway through and started saying her name. I've destroyed every device I own. Moved into a motel with no Wi-Fi, no smart anything. But the messages still find me. Yesterday, I found a cassette tape on my pillow, unlabeled. I borrowed a player from a pawn shop. It was Ray again. We're past technology now, Eli. You open the channel, and it doesn't close. Not until the forest is full again. That's why I'm writing this. Not to scare you, not to entertain. To warn, if you hear a new episode of The Fog Signal, don't listen, even if the voice sounds like mine. Because it isn't. And if you ever find yourself near Bitter Creek, don't look at the trees, don't answer your phone, and never press play.